Alright guys, welcome. This is Code Up Your Life, and here we are for another tutorial. We're going to be looking at downloading and installing Anaconda for Windows 10. This is another way that you can run Python on your system. I'm going to show you Anaconda, some of the features, how it differs from the standard Python installation, and as a bonus we'll look at the math operators in Python. So let's go over to anaconda.com/products/individual and for Windows. When you're looking at this, if you don't know if you're 32-bit or 64-bit, you can always go to About Your PC. And if you look at the system information, you can tell if you're 64-bit or 32-bit. So in my case, it's 64-bit. We'll go over here and click the 64-bit installer. Next, we'll open the executable to run the installer. You can click Next, Agree, Just Me. You can click Next. Now we see this little prompt explaining if you have other tools like PyCharm or Visual Studio, they will default to your Anaconda 3.8 installation. So that's just handy to know if you're going to be messing with Visual Studio or anything else. It will be using this installation. Alright, it's complete. You can click Next. Next we can go see if we have Anaconda. I like to hit Windows and then type Anaconda. So you'll see the Anaconda command prompt and the navigator. Let's go ahead and open the navigator. There are plenty of options here. We're just going to look at Spider and Python for now. Honestly, I haven't played with this much, but maybe we can look at some of these other ones in the future. We'll launch Spider. Let's take a look at some of the advantages of Anaconda over just regular Python installation. If we take a look at where Anaconda stores its packages, you can go to Users, Username, Anaconda 3, Packages. And we're looking at these. These are like functions or libraries that you can use by just importing them into your module. So if I do a count, there's about 308 packages including pandas, Flask, requests, Pywin32, and a whole bunch of other ones. Let's take a look at the standard Python installation. To do this, we first need to go and make the app data visible, so we'll have to go up to File, Show Hidden option. Let's select that. Now we can go to Users, Username, App Data, Local, Programs, Python, Python 3.9, Lib. And here we see all the native packages that come with the regular Python installation. So if I do a count on this, there's about 32 of them. Which this isn't really an issue. You can always install more packages later by doing like a pip install in Python. It's just nice if you want something pre-installed that has most of the packages that you're going to be using anyway. Anaconda might be a better option. There's also a little bit more functionality in Anaconda than with the built-in IDE. You can see if you hit F5 and run, you can see the console results here. And there's also a built-in variable explorer here up at the top right. So it's kind of nice. You can just make your file and test as you go along and see the output here. Anaconda also allows you to do breakpoints, which will allow you to stop your code at a certain point in the execution, and you can kind of look at what's happening there, which helps with debugging. So let's take a look at some basic math operators in Python. Python can do exponents. Let's make a variable, exp, for exponent, and we'll do 2 and 2 multiply signs and a 4. By default, Python is going to make this into an integer. We could print it as print exponent of 2 to the 4 is plus exponent. And let's try to run that real quick. So we see we get an error. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. And that's because the exponent variable is an integer. So if we try to just concatenate it with this string, Python's not going to like that. And it can't do that. So that's why we get this error. What this means, in order to print the result of our exponent, we have to convert the integer to a string. We can do this in two ways. The first way is to use the stir function, which converts the integer to a string. So let's wrap that exponent variable with the stir. We can test it and we see that it prints exponent of 2 to the 4 is 16. Or the other way we can do this is use the fstring Python syntax to print, which allows us to print the variable without having to add the string conversion. So let's put an f in front of our string, and then we'll put the exponent variable inside of our string and we'll wrap it with the curly boys. Let's run it, and we get the same thing. Exponent of 2 to the 4 is 16. Next, let's take a look at the mathematical operator modulus, which is the % in Python. So we'll do mod is our variable equals 33, 33 %11, which is pronounced 33 mod 11. And what the modulo does is it gives the first remainder of the division. So we can print the remainder of 33 divided by 11 is mod. Next we can do integer division, which gives you the truncated or rounded down version of regular division. We'll do int division, 44, 2 slashes, and then a 3. We'll print the rounded down version of 44 divided by 3 is int div. Next we can do regular division, which is just div equals 44 over 3. We can print 44 divided by 3 is div. Notice here that the data type for div would be a float. Just a little note here, Python automatically determines what your variables are going to be. You don't have to declare something a float or an integer or a string. So when we do div equals 44 over 3, Python is already thinking that that's going to be a float. So the other nice thing about this fstring Python syntax is that we don't have to, worry about what our data type is here. So we can just do, the fstring 44 divided by 3 is div, and that's it. We could just leave it like that. So Python can also do simple multiplication. We'll do mult equals 4 times 2. We'll say 4 multiplied by 2 is mult. Can also do subtraction. Subtract 5 minus 2. The result of 5 minus 2 is sub. And it can do addition. So add 9 plus 4. The result of 9 plus 4 is add. Okay, now we can run this. And we see exponent of 2 to the 4 is 16. The remainder of 33 divided by 11 is 0. The rounded down version of 44 divided by 3 is 14. 44 divided by 3 is 14.666. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 5 minus 2 is 3. And 9 plus 4 is 13. That's how you install Anaconda on Windows 10 and some basic Python math operators. If you got some value from this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.